It took me about 2 to 3 months to go from bussing tables at a restaurant and ripping tickets at a movie theater to making about $500,000 a month on the internet. And I didn't have to show my face. I wasn't doing dances on TikTok, no TikTok shop or nothing like that. Okay. Anybody can do this. Let me kind of give you the rundown. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. and grind yourself into the ground. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what you need to do. Okay. Currently, if you don't know who I am, my name's Andrew. Make a lot of money on the internet. I've done 8 digits online with dropshipping specifically. If you don't know what dropshipping is, it's just e-commerce. Like, it's just internet. You have a website, you sell stuff, but it's called dropshipping because we never have to hold inventory in our warehouse, in our garage. We don't have to pack boxes. We don't need to order shit, actually. When someone buys it from us, the order information from that customer goes directly to some warehouse in China. That warehouse ships it directly to the customer. We are essentially a kind of a middleman, but with a lot of power and a lot more profitable than just like reselling. It's not reselling, it's not wholesaling, none of that. You're actually building a real business, but the way that you do it is in a way where you can start it as if you have the same resources to start reselling or start wholesaling. You can just start an actual business doing this, and instead of spending your money wholesaling or doing stocks or day trading, crypto, just all the other stuff, why don't you just spend no money and make a website that you can figure out how to do in a day, and then put something to sell on the website, which you can figure out how to do it in the same day, and then sell that, which you can figure out how to do the next day. And you didn't have to order shit when someone buys it. You just need to get someone to go to your website and buy it. That's literally the game, and that's what I'm showing you guys how to do, as well as how to build the websites and find a product to sell, and all of that stuff is actually really easy. There's a lot of people in the space who complicate the information. Okay, so yeah, look, I'm not special. All I did is kind of like find the right strat, and then everything else clicked like a light switch. What we're doing is called dropshipping. It's a business where you sell real products online, but the cool part is you never have to buy anything yourself. You never have to order inventory. You never have to pack shit in your garage, send boxes out through UPS, none of that. Here's how simple it is, right? Someone visits your website, someone buys a product from you, and once they do that, their address, their name, it gets sent to some warehouse in China, all their information, and that warehouse in China sends out the order directly to the person who just bought from you, straight to their doorstep. You didn't have to do anything except get them to buy from you in your website. That's the sauce. Okay. So you never have to even touch the product. Think of it like being the middleman, except it's automated. You're a lot more profitable, and you get to make money on your laptop while you're sitting at home, and the whole thing runs itself. You know what I mean? And the reason that this works is because the internet has no limits. You can run a $10 product on Instagram, and you can get 5 or 10,000 people to see it in the same day. It's just about running ads. If the product is good and the ad connects, someone will buy it. Someone will go to your website. Now you just need a good website, right? You can make hundreds of dollars back from the same $50. If you're starting with a budget of $50, you can make hundreds from that if you do everything correctly. You don't need to waste your time. But this, I'm not going to also say, let me preface that with, this is not like some get rich quick situation. For some people it works very quickly because it clicks quickly. It's not a gamble. It's just if it clicks for you quickly, then you get there quicker. It's just a skill. It's just riding a bike. The first time you go to the gym, you can lift, or you can lift correctly. You can get on a bike and fall, or you can get on a bike and ride it for miles. It's the same thing. Okay, the first time you learn how to ride a bike, you need to get on the bike and fall. Then you learn what made you fall, and you don't do that the next time you get on the bike. That's the point. Or obviously you can have someone being like, okay, if you do this, that's going to make you fall because I fell every time I did that, so don't do that. You can take that route too, which is kind of what this is. Now the best part about this whole thing is that you're not selling to your mom. You're not begging your friends and your neighbors, going door to door trying to like buy a chocolate bar. You know what I mean? Or to go to your website and buy a product. You don't have to do. You can just sit, just like how I'm sitting here talking to you. I got my computer screen behind you. This is my empty office in my new house. I'll give you guys a tour soon, but I have no furniture yet. I just have an M5, a rug, a makeshift desk from Walmart, and I'm waiting on all of my stuff to arrive. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this is all from the internet. This is all from e-com, all from dropshipping. So it can be you too. I'm only 27. Got a house. I got an M5. Got my chick over there cooking some food or doing whatever she's doing. It doesn't even matter. She can do whatever she wants. So look, we're solving real problems for real people. All we're doing is just finding a product that solves that problem. We're making a video or a really good picture or a bunch of pictures with AI that are talking about the problem. Hey, this is a problem. You can solve it here. Click this button. They click the button, they go to a website. The website is talking about, you have this problem. We're going to solve that problem. These are all the people that have tried this and it's worked for them. Look at their results. Here's a buy button. Buy it now. Well, you just need a good price. Make sure the price matches what the product is, like you see something's like, oh, that's overpriced. Make sure you don't do that on your product. Now you need to know how to find the products, how to make the website. So let's move on. Let me preface again one thing. If you're a complete beginner and this is one of the first videos that you're watching, then you might be asking, okay, I've heard this is crowded and saturated. I've heard it doesn't work. I've heard you need a lot of money. None of those are true. For the crowded, dude, water is saturated. I've said that before. And there's a new water, like, what's that new water company? Death by Water, massive multi-billion-dollar company in the last 5 years. All they're selling is water. They just put a new name to it and put it in a can, and they had Wiz Khalifa drink it or whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? You can sell anything as long as you just hit the formula. For water, all they needed was a rapper to push some water, and then everybody else will follow suit. Like, that was the formula. For dropshipping, this is the formula. Okay. We find something someone's selling. How do we? You said if it's crowded, if it's saturated, that works to your benefit, because we are only looking for something that someone is already selling. That's number one already. Perfect. Okay. How are they selling it? Saturation is a myth. If you know how to market effectively, and we teach you exactly how to do that, you can sell the same product 1,000 other people are selling, and you're still gonna win every single time. Because most people are doing it wrong anyways. You don't need thousands to start. I had a regular job when I started. I had 2 jobs. The job paid for my first week of testing ads. You know what I'm saying? The sales I made went straight back into more ads. You don't need to keep pulling money out of your savings account. Once you make some sales, you can just spend that money in a couple more days. That's free sales. Free marketing ad spend. You know what I mean? You get to make more sales from the last sales. The last sales you made make you more sales. And the key is to if it costs you $10 to make a sale, but every sale that you make, someone's paying you $50, dude, every sale you make is free sale. It's just free money. So you just keep pouring it back in. Okay. And it's funny because you can never be too late to this. It's hilarious when people say that. E-commerce, this whole business space, gets bigger every year. It's a multi-trillion-dollar space, and every year it goes up by another trillion. So we can't fuel consumerism enough. People will always keep consuming more and more, especially as the population grows. The internet is not getting smaller, it's only getting bigger. It's like the universe. So here's what a complete beginner does to get started in 5 steps. Step 1 is definitely pick the products, but it needs to be something that solves a real problem that people actually have. Think back pain, clean water, better sleep, stronger nails, things that make someone's life easier or better. Those products sell themselves. Then you just need to connect the dots in between that. Okay. When something is going to sell itself, it doesn't literally sell itself, right? Because then there's trust. People, they might not trust you. They don't know who you are. They don't think that your version is actually going to work, or maybe they have preconceived ideas that they have about your maybe you're selling hair loss, right? And you're solving hair loss, but people are coming to you. Yeah, they're interested in solving hair loss, but they believe that nothing actually works because they've been told genetically this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? So you're combating that whole thing. So even though a product might sell itself, it solves hair loss. Now you got to convince them that it actually works. That's the main key. Okay. So that ties into step number 2, which is going to be building the store, right? This is going to be your website. If you want, by the way, it only costs $1 for this. I have a link for that for $1. Otherwise, it doesn't cost $1. I don't even know what it costs because I've been paying $1 for so long. Everybody else does as well. Link below if you want that. Now, this is your website. It's drag and drop. You don't need to know how to code or anything like that. If you can make a PowerPoint presentation, you can build a Shopify store. I have a complete tutorial on that. If you want to learn that, go check out one of the YouTube videos that I have about that. Or I actually have a completely free course. Free. It'll be the one of the first or second link down there, right? school.com/word-vip. Step 4 is going to be, you need to learn how to run paid ads. Now, that's the main sauce. Everybody always fucks up. Everybody always overcomplicates this part. So let me kind of break this down. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you pick a person. For whatever product you're selling, that product is going to solve a bunch of different things for a bunch of different people, maybe, right? The thing is, though, there's always a specific way that you can make someone look at the product. Maybe it does one thing, but you can turn that one thing into some opposite spectrum. Let me give an example, right? This really left field. I can see my M5 out front. I got my driveway right here. This is actually really cool, but you'll see eventually. But let's say wheels, right? I'm shopping for new wheels on the car and stuff like that. You have wheels for, you can drive on them and put them on your car, or you can turn them into a table. You know what I mean? That's a whole different thing. You're selling the same thing, but a completely different person can buy it now. Now it's some rich guy or some car enthusiast or someone who's dreaming about owning an M5, but they can't actually have it. So now they get the wheel table as an aspirational piece. Do you know what I mean? You can do that with absolutely anything. So step 5 is going to be test. You need to test the idea, but you don't always have to test. What we're doing is we are going with what's already working. So remember, as I said, we want to find something that's already very popular. The reason that we want to do that is because there's plenty of videos for us to look at on the internet to see which ones are popular, the most popular, and what they're talking about in those videos. That's all we have to do. We don't have to test anything, really, test any ideas. We can just go look at what's working. We can take those ideas. If they're on TikTok and they're working, we'll take those ideas and we'll bring them over to Facebook. Very similar to the ripped method that you might hear a lot of people talk about. Take a video from Callow Data, bring it over here to Facebook. As long as someone isn't running that ad on Facebook, then yeah, you'll be able to make some money. However, everybody and their grandmother is doing that, and I am slaying all of y'all, especially my students as well. The ones who are doing exactly what I'm telling you. The ripped method is only a way that you want to test something, right? So for 3 to 4 days, if you're going to do the ripped method, you test it that way first, okay? Let's say you do ripped content and you're making sales. Beautiful. You are making sales with content that isn't even performing as well as it should because it's ripped content, which Facebook knows it's ripped content, but they're going to take your money anyways and they'll let you spend money and make some sales, but you're not going to be getting as good of metrics as you should be. Once you make custom content, all that means, dude, is taking 15 to 20 pieces of content that already exist. You don't even have to record anything yet. You can still start small, still start on a low budget. Just take the same ripped videos that you were running, edit them all into one video, put some captions on it, maybe write a little script and narrate over the video. If you're super shy, then have AI do that. Write the script and have AI narrate the script as well, but it's better with humans. Humans react better to humans. It's just an innate response, obviously. So if you want the best of the best results, and if you want to give yourself the best chance of success, then just do all the little things that stack on top of each other, and it gives you the best end result. If you want to just do the 1 or 2 thing, then your best result is going to be here. But if you want to do all the 5 little 6, 7, 8 things that all stack on top of each other, then your best result is going to be up here, and your bottom result is going to be as good. Or your worst result at that point would be the best result that you would have had if you were just ripping content. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being, my neighbor just almost hit my trash can. This is new stuff I got. This is so funny. Okay. Sidebar. So, bringing us in the next part, let me give you guys a little secret, okay? And this is something that nobody really wants to admit. The real secret has nothing to do with finding some perfect secret product that's untapped or some secret supplier that nobody else knows about. The real secret is just believing that you can actually do it. Because I think I've had many products that at a certain point in time, these were products that ended up changing my life. But I didn't believe that maybe it would work for me. Because, you ever see products in your product research methods and you see something, it hits all the criteria, maybe you test it, it doesn't work for you, and then a month later you see someone else like making $40 million with it or something. You're just like, I've been doing this for 12 years and I've seen that so many times. I just snapped, and that I don't do that anymore. I no longer leave opportunity on the table, so I'll test it all. You can't think it. You cannot think about it at all. It becomes, money becomes math, right? And then when you, like me going against, okay, well, the story was, let me finish, me going against math. When you don't do those tests, or when you do those tests and you stop the test and then you see them later on and they're crushing or something like that, that's you fighting the math, bro. It's you literally, you try it, you fuck up the equation, you don't get the correct formula or the correct answer to the formula, right? Which is just angle, right? So you find the person that you're selling it to. The reason that they would listen, give them something to listen to, that listening lead into a sale. If you fuck that formula up, there's a few things that you can look at throughout that process, right? And if you give up while you're like, either maybe it's daunting, so maybe you don't know exactly which piece was wrong and you think the whole system was wrong or the whole product, or maybe because your testing formula that you were told previously told you that if it doesn't work at this point, maybe I'm like, run it for 3 days, and if it's bad at 3 days, then move on to the next product because it's a speed game. No, that's why it doesn't work. That's not the formula. If you're listening at this point, let me just give you the formula really quick. That point where they say run it for 3 or 4 days, and then if it doesn't do these certain metrics, you have to cut it off and move on to a new product. That's not true. What the actual process is, just look, I've been drop shipping since most of these people were like in 6th grade. The real formula is at that point you reset and you optimize. So you hit a second phase 2, okay? It's never just a fucking phase 1 of business. That's the most asinine stuff I've ever heard in my life. That's phase 1, which is you do the test. The test told you what you need to do next. The test doesn't tell you if the product is a winning product or not. The test tells you what you need to do next. It's like science. You have a hypothesis, you test the hypothesis, money is math, science is math. All of this is all correlated together. Math is just innate to human nature. But humans are math. Day 3, day 4, let's say, right now I have students, Ismahan, shout out to you. She was just posting about how she's getting a bunch of add to carts on her new text, her new product test, right? She's curious why she hasn't got like a bunch of sales yet. It's not correlating. I mean, this happens a lot where people get add to carts, no sales, and nobody knows what to do most of the time. For one, day 3, day 4 is your reset point where you're looking at your CPM, your cost per click, and your click-through rate, okay? If all of those are good, so what I'm saying is, if your click-through rate, your CTR, if your CTR is above 2 to 3%, solid. Your CPM should be $50 or under. $60 is acceptable. Anything you start getting higher and higher is terrible. However, there's a caveat to that. If you have a really expensive CPM and your CTR is really high, like it's good, like it's 5% click-through rate, 4, 5, 6, 7% click-through rate, but your CPM is high as fuck, then that means your cost per click is irrelevant at that point. If you have a really high click-through rate and your CPM is really expensive, all you have to do is focus on the hook. Focus on the first 3 seconds. The first 1 to 2 to 3 seconds that someone is seeing you in their feed. The first things that they see, if it's a video, if it's an image, if it's the headlines, you think about that because you know whether or not you're running videos or whether or not you're running images. But if you're running images, make sure that shit pops more and it gets people to stop more or has a better headline. If it's an image, you need to have a story time to it. If it's a video, the first 1-2 seconds need to be just like that. And those snaps are dopamine. As soon as they see, dopamine. 1 second to 2 second, dopamine. Again. 2 second to 3 second, dopamine. Again. And then you go 3 second to 6 second, dopamine. Again. Making real money in the real world matters more than anything they were teaching me in school. I started watching people my age winning online, and something just clicks, bro. I mean, nobody's smarter than you, and that you have to realize that. All right. Everybody just goes through a different set of circumstances that hones their brain into it. And all you got to do is just put yourself through those circumstances or through those mental shifts. The main driver that you always need to remind yourself is that someone is a human and so are you. If you see another human doing something that you want to be doing, you can do it too. It's not even like, you can do it. No. No, that's basic. You need to look deeper. Like, someone is a human. They have 10 fingers, 10 toes. They have 2 eyeballs. So do you. Fuck the circumstances, bro. I was adopted. I was broke. I hate saying all this shit, but I need to remind people, my circumstances were worse than pretty much everybody's watching me. Not everybody, because I know I'd be talking to some of you guys. Man, there are some people who got fire under their ass right now who like have drive, and I get it. I've been there. The reason, like, you just don't have excuses is what I'm saying. I've lived in some fucked up places, gone through some bad experiences, good experiences, and I'm like a savage now. Well, I still love you guys. I'm not saying I'm like, but I'm in the mode at this moment in this video where I'm like, what are you doing? Lock in. I took a little hiatus. I moved, got a house. Spent like 10 days. I'm gonna upload this. It'll be very raw. And you guys deserve this. You need this. So if you're stuck in a job that's draining you, if you're sitting in a classroom right now, or you're at work listening to this, wondering why none of this feels like it's going anywhere for you in whatever journey, or maybe you have tried this, you haven't tried this, you're undecided, you don't know which exact business venture to go for. Let me tell you, for one, on the last specific thing, that don't know what business venture to go for, I'll say it in a short way and I'll say it in a long way. For one, pick dropshipping. Pick this. Fuck the sales pitch. I'm not selling you shit. Buy if you want to. I don't need your money. But I'm the guy. So go join the link down there, school.com/Aura. Not the free one. If you're serious, do the legit one. Too many people in there making over 6 figures a month is cool. Outside of that, you can't be hopping, what am I going to do? Which one am I going to pick? No. You either pick the thing that's closer to your baseline, like this is, if you have a job, or if you're a business owner, or you're trying to create a new income stream, like this is the only thing that fits every single one of them that everybody can learn and do. And the only difference is the rate of speed, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to get that out of the way. Well, I'm going to tell you now at the 30-minute mark, I got to work. I made it work. Pop some stuff on screen now, so that maybe I won't. I don't feel like editing. So I failed, I tested, I lost a lot of money, I learned, and eventually I made way more money. Now I make money just by like breathing. I travel when I want, I live on my own terms. And the thing that I love most is at this point I'm making my homies rich too. So if you ever looked in the mirror and thought there was more to this, there is, bro. I was in some bad places in life. It starts with learning one skill that actually moves the needle in your life forward. Just like at work or at school, even going to school to get a job. Once you get, it's kind of like you're treading water through life. So it's like you tread water for 5 years and then you get a promotion and you tread water for another 5 years. Maybe it gets faster. So you do it, even if it's not 5 years, right? Let's say it's 4 years, then it's 3 years, then it's 2 years. Then finally, after working this job for 15 years, you're making $250,000 a year. And you still could have made that in a month if you just locked in for 3 years, not even 3 months. I got like 5 guys right now who've been doing what I'm doing for 3 months, not even. And they're making over 6 figures monthly. So, you know where to find me. Let's build something. So